Hi, everyone. Hey, since we are not going to see each other for another week, which I'm sorry is way too long, and not just because I miss you, but I wanted to touch base with you all because our class is still going on. We haven't had a break. And I wanted to look ahead to see what we are going to be doing independently over the next week to make sure that when we come back, in a week, everybody is right on track and nobody has fallen behind. And so I have gone ahead and placed, hopefully you all have noticed because it's been there for a while, placed a shortcut to the writing project that we are working on right now. So we're in our second module, second writing project module, and it's all about this rhetorical analysis. Read over this several times. It's not too long. Make sure you know what type of genre we are writing and what is expected here. It is so important. Don't read it once and think that you've got it down. In all writing situations, especially in college when we're writing so many different types of essays for so many different professors, so many different contexts, it's really important to read over very closely what is expected in each unique writing situation. All right, so read that over and let's get into our writing project 2 module right here. Okay. Now it has the overview. Remember, look over this module, over and over throughout this section. There's examples here of student essays who have written the exact same type of rhetorical analysis that we are writing. Remember, for this rhetorical analysis, we are not writing on the topic that this student author has written on. We are analyzing their writing strategies. We are analyzing the strategies that they are using to persuade their audience, okay? So this, let's see, we've already had this summary discussion board and we've had this, read and watch about rhetoric. Hopefully you have done that. If you have not done that, watch this. Okay, you need this kind of instruction when you are not coming into class, when we're not talking about it face to face. So please read over this and watch this so you know, become familiar what we're talking about, what we mean by rhetoric and all of these different appeals and why we are learning how to analyze. Now this, AP 13, both AP 12 and AP 13, which was due this last week, I'm a little concerned. Less than half of the students have turned this in. Okay, that's quite extraordinary. I've never had that low of submission pattern, because it is kind of a pattern for this class. I haven't had that before. And so I'm concerned. I need to know which editorial you've chosen. So if you haven't done this yet, please get this in as soon as possible and let me know which editorial you've chosen, because the sooner you choose that editorial, the more meaningful our class activities will be, and you'll be able to immediately adapt everything that we do in class right to your own analysis of that specific editorial. So do that as soon as possible, okay? That was due back on the 5th. So on Monday, this is one of the most important articles that we'll be reading, and it's a longer article, okay, from what I think you all have been used to reading. It's 13 pages. It says 15 here, but it's really just 13. And I'm asking you to read over this, to annotate as you read and highlight specific terms and concepts. And also there is a before reading prompt and an after reading prompt that you all need to answer. Let's look at it really quickly. This is just the front page. So before you even start reading, okay, answer this before reading prompt right here on the paper. You can use these tools, these annotation tools right up here, but think of a time when you persuaded someone or somebody persuaded you. And it can be just some kind of random thing, like my son persuaded me to go and pick up In-N-Out, okay? Something as simple as that. Put that down there even before you start reading, because we'll come back to it after you're reading. And then during reading, I'm asking you to highlight her key points, highlight Carol's key points, and all of these key terms: argument, rhetoric, exigence, context, constraints, audience, purpose, ethos, logos, and pathos. Those are terms that we are going to be using over and over and over again over the next few weeks and even through 102, okay, English 102. And so annotate all of Carol's key points. This is a really important article because she talks about not only why we do rhetorical analysis, but how it happens, what we're going to look at. So read this over. Take some time, read it over. Hopefully you've started. Hopefully you've already started reading it. And then at the end, if you look down here, there are some discussion questions. Ignore them. You can look over them if you want. They're actually good to compel some thoughts and stuff, but we're not answering them. Go clear to the bottom, and there's an after reading prompt where I'm asking you to return to that situation where somebody, where you wrote about a case where somebody persuaded you right at the beginning. Return to that and kind of do a little analysis based on what you've read, what Carol talked about concerning rhetorical analysis, and then share some of the reasons why she thinks this kind of analysis is so important. Okay, so for this, you're doing the before reading prompt, you're highlighting, finding those definitions, and then an after reading prompt. Okay, so look at those definitions, write that out. We're going to, you know, have a little quiz over them when we get back together because they are so important. Okay, so that's due Monday night. Wednesday, yeah, I want to leave it Wednesday night. By Wednesday night, we're having, oh, first of all, let me hold back. I'm sharing a lot of resources on rhetoric and rhetorical analysis. It is up to you. It is your responsibility to read over these, okay? This class now, this week, is kind of like an online class, which means we're not having a break. This isn't a week off. We still need to get in all of the hours required for this class, for it to be an accredited college class. But you are going to be responsible for doing it on your own time. So watch over these videos. And I also have I've created some really great handouts and things on what it means by ethos. What is pathos? You know, what does that mean to appeal to emotion? What does it appeal through logos or logic, or to appeal to our audience's logic? Kairos. Okay? What is that? Okay, read over those, look over them, study them, get to know them, because by Wednesday night we're going to practice them. What I have here is an advertisement, and it's a very successful and effective advertisement. It doesn't matter if you agree with what's being advertised or not. That's neither here nor there in rhetorical analysis. We're going to analyze how the writers or creators of this ad are persuading their audience. What strategies are they using to persuade their audience? And so I have here, I'm going to leave student view right here really quick because I need to share these. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 replies here. You're going to pick 4 of them and offer 40-word posts in response to 4 of them. Okay, so you can just pick 4, at least 4. So who is the intended audience? You know, what are some of the contextual details? What is the goal of this ad? How does the author establish ethos? How do they incorporate logos? So read over these instructions very carefully and then respond to at least 4 of those questions, and each response should be at least 40 words long, okay? And just answer them. There's a lot going on in this ad. It's a very complex, very interesting ad. So just kind of throw your ideas out there of analysis. How are they appealing to their audience's emotion or sense of logic? How do they establish ethos? All of those things. Now, this will make sense after you do the readings, all right? So that's really important. And then you would respond to, let me go back there. You would respond to at least, what do I have? 3 of your classmates' posts with meaningful posts, you know, beyond simply, hey, great job. Yeah, I agree. You know, I'm sorry, here's my dog's barking. With some meaningful posts by Friday night. Okay, so this is going to be the main thing that we're going to be doing this week. So get that in there. And then looking ahead to our Monday class, here's a breakdown sheet that you are going to fill out, and this has to be started before Sunday. Okay, this is going to take some time to do it right. This has got to take some time to really understand the concepts being taught in this class. This isn't just a, hey, I've got homework, I got to do it Sunday night to get it in, you know, Monday morning. This takes study. This takes time and effort to really comprehend what's happening so that it isn't just some rote or memorized response to an assignment, but it is something that you can take away with you. So give this breakdown sheet some time, and you are going to simply fill this out after looking at your editorial, according to your editorial. That was the word I was looking for. Okay, so first of all, we're going to break down, share what it is and break it down with a sentence, paragraph by paragraph. And if you remember our references or resources on summary, this is going to give you a good head start on your summary, okay? Because we have to summarize this editorial for our audience because they are not going to have read it, okay? So we have to tell them, before we can analyze something, we have to tell our audience what we are analyzing, okay? And then this is just a breakdown sheet where you are going to look, are there any allusions? What about comparisons? What kind of comparisons does the author make? What kind of evidence? There's going to be a lot of evidence. What kind of evidence is this author choosing to put into their argument? Who are they quoting? Who are they referencing? And why? Why? That's where the analysis comes in. We're not just describing, we're looking at why they are making those choices. Do they use repetition? Do they use rhythm? Rhetorical questions. What kind of questions are they asking their audience and why? The appeals, you'll have a lot here. And these can be expanded. These boxes can be expanded. But look at their appeals to emotion, to logic, to how do they establish credibility, and anything else. And so this worksheet, once you have that filled out, this will give you a good head start and give you an idea of what you can focus on in that rhetorical analysis. Now, you don't have to focus on all of these when you write down your analysis. You're just going to pick a few that stand out for you, but this will give you a good head start, okay? So that will be due before class on Monday, okay? And we'll get back together. We'll do some assessment. I wish we had a long time on Monday. We'll do some assessment to see where we are and what we need to do to maybe get all caught up and on the same page. But that's what's due on Monday. Friday, I will be there Friday, if I can, if they'll let me. Sometimes they have things going on Friday, but I will try and be there so I can answer any kind of questions that you have, because I am really hoping you have questions. You should have questions on what we are doing, because it's been so long since we've had a chance to talk. So I will be there Friday. If you have any questions before then, use Canvas message to send me, or the Canvas inbox to send me a message, okay? And let me know what your questions are, okay? All right, have a good week. I'll see you in a week, a little over a week, okay? Bye-bye.